it's Tina with TNT Crochet Hookers, where knit happens. I know I haven't shown you a lot of knit lately, but it does happen once in a while. Alright, so yesterday I showed you my amazing, well, no, I know for you guys it probably was not really that amazing, but for me it was like awesome! I was so excited. Still I am. I'll be reeling for this for probably a very long time, you know, just because that was just a huge achievement for me. So and every time we do that, like what I've said before is we should feel really proud of what we accomplish in all of our projects. We put love, we put our heart and soul into it, whether it frustrates us, whether we have a great time with it. And if you're really having such a miserable time where you want to rip it in tiny little shreds, then maybe put that one off to the side, or I don't know, maybe give it to someone who does crochet, or maybe just save it for a while until you have the patience to go back to it. I've had to do that flippin' giant baby blanket. But I will say that baby blanket is my comfort blanket too. So Dina from Homespun Fun, love watching you, girl. You just amaze me. I mean, and I do love your new house. It's amazing. I can't wait to see Penny Carey with her new home too. Looking forward to that tour. But one of the things of comfort, I know that there's been many vloggers who I've seen who've had some illnesses and different things like that, and believe it or not, sometimes doing the crochet helps us get through it. It really does. So I didn't stop to think about when I was explaining why I started this YouTube channel for my kids, for my daughters, for my grandson, maybe even for my husband. But you know, the rule in our house is he gets to go first. So I'm gonna try. I've been trying really hard for that to happen, you know, so we'll see. But you'll probably notice my shirt. It's not the typical white shirt. My shirt's purple. And it is because I am in remission for cancer. It was definitely not an easy time. I had stage 3.8 thyroid cancer that had metastasized into my lymph nodes. I was 38 years old when I found this out. And you know, there's actually a really funny story with that, because when you get cancer, man, everyone asks what your weight is and what your flippin' age. Okay, well, for years I'd been lying to the point where I really believed it. I must have believed it, because every time someone asks me, and it's not like for every appointment you have, at least sometimes up to 10 people asking you those same two flipping questions. I felt like saying, just ask her, she knows. Come on, let's work together. Let's work as a team. Stop asking me the same stupid question. But it even got funnier, because at certain points well, I mean, I don't know if it's so much funny. I laughed about it. I mean, I laughed a lot. We laughed an awful lot during that whole process, and we still laugh now. You may want to say we have a sick sense of humor, but either you can cry through an event or you can laugh, and I choose to laugh. And for us, cancer, it's just part of our lives. My dad passed away from it. Both my grandparents have, and my mom is a survivor as well. So it's definitely something in our family. My niece had childhood leukemia, and that was really rough for all of us to go through. And two of my daughters have already the symptoms that I started off with when I, you know, was in the first stages of my thyroid cancer. So we do keep a very close eye on them, which is great. So basically what I went through. And again, we are going to get to the yarny stuff. I just wanted to get this out in the open so that maybe once those questions are answered, or maybe this can help someone else. I don't know. Get your flippin' thyroid checked. That's all I got to say for women and men. And believe it or not, men can get this too. It is a very small percentage, but men can get this as well. there are so many signs, and I just kept telling my doctors for years. I mean, I'm talking like after my second child, we saw symptoms. I just wasn't feeling good. I was fatigued. I just had many, many signs that I didn't realize what they were or what was wrong with me. My mom had been diagnosed during that time period, and so around the time when I was like 24, my mom got diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And hers had metastasized as well, but into a tumor that was just attached. So it didn't go any further than that, praise Jesus, thank God. I was not so lucky. So we went very, very aggressive. And I was in surgery for 14 and a half hours. I have a scar that goes from approximately right around here, and it goes all the way to the back of my neck and back behind my ear. I've had 2 surgeries within this past year, and I don't know, you might be able to see one is over here, but then one, my doctor, he's so amazing, he actually did it on top of my previous scar, and that was within this past year, I believe. You know, I will also tell you some of the stuff and the treatments, I'm not going to know the dates or the times because so it's been 4 months. He just signaled me. It's been 4 months. That's how much I block it out. Because you know what? I ain't got time for cancer. I said that through the whole thing. It actually used to drive my doctors, and I had multiple doctors. They would tell my husband, keep her on the couch, she's got to rest, everything. It was like, no, I don't have time for that. Life is moving. I have 3 daughters. My youngest was only 10 years old when we found out. She basically just turned 10. My daughter, we found out 2 weeks prior to her graduation from high school, from my oldest daughter's graduation. It was really hard. The whole thing was really hard. I feel every day blessed to be here. I just can't put it completely into words because I have been able to see all 3 of my daughters graduate from high school. 2 of them, one I got to see get her associate's degree. She's working on her bachelor's. My other daughter almost has her bachelor's, and my youngest is starting her college career. My middle daughter is possibly in 2 years going to get married. She's engaged. I didn't think I would make it that long. And now my husband's convinced me to do this crazy YouTube channel. So let me tell you, life's worth fighting for. I'm still here. I'm not going to whine and cry about what I go through. Yes, I have chronic pain. I had to do not just 1 round of radiation, and I love my mother and father-in-law. They were my sanctuary when I went through all of this. They were there to take care of me, and the difference between when you do treatment for thyroid cancer, you have to do digestive iodine radiation. You cannot be around anyone. You cannot go near anyone, so you really are quarantined. I did 100 count, and then I had to do 200 count. And they just said to me that when I did the 100 count that you're going to get to the point where you feel like you're dying, but you're not. And then the 200 count, you're going to feel like you're dying, but you're going to want to. And I was like, y'all are full of you know what, because that's not who I am. I got to that point though. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. My husband basically, his reply to it was, you're not leaving me with these 3 flipping kids. Suck it up. And it got me so mad. I'm yelling at him, cussing as well. I mean, I have the right to cuss a little bit with that. So, and he goes, see, you still have fight in you. And it worked. It absolutely, he always knows what to do. It worked. So, I am still here because of it. And we don't know if it's because or whatever. It might have been things that had already been happening, but because of the thyroid issues, it masked the other issues. And I do, like many women out there, I suffer from fibromyalgia, but I also suffer, I was recently diagnosed, my spine is deteriorating and so are my hips. But you know what? Is it going to stop me? Heck flipping no. if I even have those days, and you know, I know this sounds a little deranged, I mean just a little, but there's some days where if the pain's really, really bad and I'm stuck on the couch because my job is demanding, so I don't, you know, and it is one of those diseases where a body in motion stays in motion, a body at rest stays at rest. But it's hard to get to that motion portion, but there's times where the doctor says, you've got to just stop. You've got to just rest. And I do that. I'm pretty good about it. I surround myself in my beautiful art, and I pick a project, and let me tell you, that's what I work on. I may be slow as heck at it, but that's what I do. I just crochet or knit, and it makes me happy. And you know, my husband likes to cook, which is amazing because he will bring me my food and my drink so I don't have to get up. I mean, pretty much if I had a porta potty and just stuck it right next to me, I'd be golden. But I mean, it's okay. I'm here, I'm happy, and I'm very happy. You know, I know that it's hard when you're hurting a lot to be happy, but I find stuff to make me happy. I force myself to find, and it drives my kids nuts, but I always find a reason or why the glass is half full. So make your glass half full. Okay, now let's move on to yarn. I think I've answered the questions. That's pretty much my whole why, you know, I said the phrase my husband says I'm one of the strongest people he knows with the weakest body. It's because my body's not so great. So that's pretty much it. Okay, I think I covered it. Are we good? I think we're good. So I do participate in Relife for Life at my daughter's college every year. I love it. We have a good time. We may or may not do it this year because she actually is graduating. So I don't know if we will. Maybe we'll go back and do it. I don't know. Or maybe we'll find one local here. Okay? So now to yarn. Speaking of having one of those rough days, my weekend was a little bit hard. So that's why it was hard to kind of figure out what I wanted to do as far as my advent calendar yarn, because I will say I want it to be beautiful. I want this to be my work of art. So with that being said, I'm not going to just jump into something. And I know, May, you want me to do these flippin' pumpkins, and I'm really trying for you, but I've gotten 2 done. Well, 3, technically 3. But I'm struggling just a little bit. Maybe when you come home this weekend, we'll discuss it some more and we'll do some decision making. But what I worked on was this shawl. Now, I haven't blocked it or anything, and I'm actually still not quite done with it. It is more than halfway done. All I have to do is the trim halfway. And I've loved working with this. I really love the design. It is called the Hangetsu Shawl from Randi's Ramblings. And I actually got this idea from Rose Likes Crochet. She had shown it yesterday, and I loved it. Her colors were different, and that's one thing I really like about all this. The shape of it, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able, we can get it in here. But as soon as I saw the roses, and she had lifted it up, I said, oh, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a leaf with the little points. And I said, I have the perfect yarn in my collection right now for this. And it was Ferris Wheels Lion Brand, and it is called Cherry on Top. But it actually reminds me of autumn. It just screams falling leaves and foliage, and like I said, it is a very soft fabric. I mean, yarn. I liked working with it. So as soon as I got my, okay, you know, I talked about the alpine hat, and I loved doing the actual color works, but I didn't like the ribbing. And when I realized I wasn't doing the ribbing correctly and I had to frog that whole flipping thing, this is what I worked on. I needed a happy project, not a, I've got these scissors and I'm going to cut that in little tiny pieces. So I stepped away, I put it down. My husband always says, just step away from it for now. So I did. I put it down for a little while, thought about it, kept thinking, you know, maybe I'm reading, because it is in UK terms, and I'm not English, so, well, I'm American, but so I kind of figured maybe, and seriously, I'm not even joking, I do have dyslexia, so sometimes when I'm reading something, maybe I'm not interpreting it the way it's supposed to be, so I do have to step away and come back to it. So I worked on this, and I was just, by the time I got done with this, and I'm so happy with it, I was showing it off to my husband, I reread the pattern, and I instantly knew what I was doing wrong. Once I got it figured out, it was, granted that ribbing is tedious, but I did figure it out. Now the hook that I'm using for this is a size K hook, and yeah, this is a Ferris hook. I do like them. I like the fact that like what I was saying before with Sarah's hook, I do like her hook. It is form-fitting, but if you look at this, I'm a knife. I, you know, crochet like I'm cutting a knife. So this thicker part here actually just sits so nicely in my hand, and I like having the little bit of edge out here, so I have something to balance. I'm not a hard crocheter, like I'm not like death grip. I'm more of a lighter one, so I like that balance. But that's what I use for it, and it went by quickly. Again, I still have a little bit left, but I'm kind of worried I'm going to be doing a little bit of yarn chicken with this one. And believe it or not, I still have 4 more skeins of this, but I already got a plan. Anu, she does a lot of tutorials, and I'll have to get, well, once I start it, I'll give you more information about it, but she just came out with a tutorial on a sweater, and it has leaf shapes in it. Leaf shapes. I was like, oh my god, I have the perfect yarn for that. So a lot of times when I'm watching my YouTube channels, it inspires me, and that's what this is all about, is us inspiring each other and loving what we're doing and finding that relaxation from it. Okay, today's number 7. Woohoo! Alright, so let me open the Mad Science Dye and Fibers. Oh, scissor time. You know, we're dealing with the hot glue, and I really want to be able to use this again. So, whoa, this one's really quite a bit. So my only recommendation for this, and I do understand why she did quite a bit, because, you know, this has got to make it through getting shipped and through the mail and stuff, and but maybe a tiny bit less on that glue gun. There we go. But I am going to use like the little dots that she did. That's what I'm going to hot glue gun my Velcro to. Ooh, this looks like candy. That's actually what it reminds me of, like gumdrops and bubble gum. It's like bubblegum pink with some greens. Yeah, like a little taffy. I would definitely call this like gumdrop. I like that. And I think this one I think would actually go really nice with the circles that I'm doing so far. But actually, you know what? No, I'm definitely going to do another circle. The other circle set, I'm going to use this with it, because these are already starting to go. So see, I'm already getting inspired. I'm already thinking it through. And so that is definitely going to be with the other set of circles. So I need to open a couple more for this. Can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. And we'll go from there. Now let's see, this is number 7 for this one, for our whips on sticks. Let's see what we have. Now remember, this one was the magic potion, and we had the leaves, and we had Wicked, and Curse Scroll, and then also the other two. So let's see what this is. Ooh, this looks very midnight blue. It's not even sparkle in it. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but there's like a little bit of sparkle and shimmer in this one. And it is like a navy. It's like, let me tell you, I need to just work for them. I really do. I can help them name all of them. The color, the night is dark. So I said it was like a midnight theme. But I don't, it's probably going to be very hard, but can you see a little bit of like the tinsel and the shimmer through it? Let's open this bad boy up. I really like this one. If it didn't have the sparkle in it, I think this is like a color my husband would really like. But that's okay because the sparkle will be for me. Look at that. That is so pretty. Oh, I really like it. And it's really just soft, thin sparkle. So I don't even think like you can't feel it. Like usually like when you have the tinsel or the visco in it, you can feel it. You can't feel it at all. Like I feel it not even a tiny bit. I would never even know it was in there. So this is wonderful. Let me make my little knot because I'm kind of liking the whole little knot look. And again, I'm going to try to see if there's something that I can incorporate all of these in and maybe not do so many pumpkins, but again, who knows. I kind of feel like what would be kind of cool is if I had a project with it and then like the leftovers, do like pumpkins with the leftovers. Again, I've got to kind of discuss this with my daughter because she's kind of doing a fall theme wedding and she really wants my, which does make me feel really good. She wants some of my homemade pumpkins and stuff as the decor for her wedding. So I know I'm kind of being selfish, just wanting to have it all for me. I mean, you know, she's not getting married until 2021. I mean, I have a whole nother Halloween season of advent calendars. You know, we'll have to see. So stay tuned. Let's see what we open up tomorrow. And of course, if you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments, or you can just leave me a comment. And Dina, I love talking to you, and Llama Mama Crochet, all of you, you're just amazing. So don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and make sure it's the one with the parentheses so you get all my notifications. And share if you like. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.